My husband had got this list from a coworker of his. This was a huge long list of like suggested places to go, things to do. And on that list was a place called Ron's. He was like, Ron's has the best food, hands down. Go to Ron's, go check out Ron's. And I left my husband, being the foodie that he is, in charge. I left him in charge to kind of dictate where we were going to eat, what we were going to check out in terms of food while we were in New Orleans. So in addition to Mio's, he wanted to go to Ron's.
And they'll throw you beads. You ain't got to show your moves. They'll throw you beads anyway.
So what made you look better? What were you looking at?
The website.
The here?
Yeah.
Oh, because we're better.
It actually says on the website in their about page, it says what the word battery means. They're here.
So it meant that person was a sharecropper?
Yeah, it's basically a battery is a French term that is used for a small tenant car, and they share the proceeds from the produce.
Yeah. So maybe that's what the money is about?
Oh, maybe. It's real English, and we hear it and think it's broken, but it's not. It's the way the aristocrats used to talk.
Really?
It's the way the British talk.
The British spoke that way? So what is our English? Oh, my gumbo is spicy. But now it has something to compare and contrast, like New Orleans gumbo and then Maryland gumbo. Because the Maryland gumbo that I got was it Maryland, DC? The gumbo I got in DC was spicy. Yeah. And it was from like the Asian fish market on the water. It was spicy. So I think maybe that's why. Is because my dad's side, they make their gumbo spicy.
I wonder how they're spicing it. Is it actual peppers, or is it
he uses seasonings, Old Bay, like different Cajun seasonings.
Is it
But and he puts sausage. He puts all of it in there. But I don't think Uncle puts gumbo. Okra. I don't think he puts okra in his gumbo.
You like it on coffee, or would you like it at a coffee?
I don't know if this how Uncle makes his gumbo, but you know, my grandma used to, I think she cooks. I'm trying to remember. She was always in the kitchen, but I don't remember eating anything she made. I just know she was always in the kitchen. But the kitchen that I'm envisioning, it was like no counter space to cook. Chop up stuff. I just don't remember her cooking. My grandma lived on and cooked all the time. She cooked, especially around the holidays. She would make candy, chocolate candy, peanut brittle. She cooked, what's that stuff? Hog balls, chitlins, collard greens, all that stuff. But her family's from Mississippi.
Well, I was about to say, that's all Southern food. That's not.
Yeah, her family's from Mississippi, which is why I'm finding a lot of the connection with her family, like right here on the border, because New Orleans and Mississippi is right here. So it's like I'm trying not to cross the line and go back diving into her side of the family. I have so much information about her side of the family. Her mom's side, not her dad's side. Her dad's side is a little hard to find. But yeah. And that's the thing is I'll come to a dead end for one side of my family and then I'll leave it alone and go to another side and then come back to that later.
So this person said Cajun style, not New Orleans style.
Well, Cajun is from Arcadia, so that's what it's saying. I read they were saying I think it was a YouTube video and it was a historian. He was saying Cajun people come from Arcadia. They came. It's like somewhere in France. They came here, and then you have people. Is it Cajuns or Creole people that left because they got kicked out of Nova Scotia. I don't know, but you have that group of people, and that's, I don't know. You have the Arcadians that came here. You have some people who got kicked out of Nova Scotia and came here.
Well, yeah, because a large part of Canada is French Canadian.
I don't know Canadian history. I haven't listened to
A
it.
large part of Canada is French. They speak French there.
The only thing that I know about Nova Scotia is the people who left here went to Nova Scotia to fight, and they were promised their freedom, but then Nova Scotia sent them to Sierra Leone. That's how the Creole culture in Sierra Leone, they're from Nova Scotia, but they were freed slaves here that went to Canada to Nova Scotia.
So, Genealogy was talking about, he said he had been putting it off, going to the continent. He had been putting it off, because he was like, not ready to like, I guess, confront that side. And it wasn't that he did like that African Ancestry or anything like that. He said he did like Ancestry.com. He said in his interview, he said that he just finally he picked Senegal because it's a French-speaking country, not because he has relatives or anything history there.
Yeah.
And he said as the plane started to come down, I'm guessing he said the F word or something, but he just blurted it out on the plane. And he said he never had that kind of reaction, and he never expected to have that kind of reaction to seeing the skyline and realizing that he's about to enter the continent.
Yeah. It's an audio interview, like an NPR.
Yeah, it's on NPR. Fresh Air. And he was saying how it was surreal because for him, he's there sitting down, visiting, the beach, and seeing people with their families vacationing on the beach.
Yeah.
But for him, it was like a funeral.
Yeah. It looks really good.
I hope y'all enjoy it.
Thank you. Ron's food was really, really good. I would say Ron's was probably better than Neo's. Their gumbo was better than Neo's. Their fish was better than Neo's. One thing that kind of threw me off was there's money like all over the walls. It's like $1 bills all over the walls, and I haven't had a chance to do research to see what's that about. So if you guys know, leave it in the comments below. But literally, there's people had signed their name, put their signatures. There's literally wall to wall dollar bills, y'all, of money all over Ron's. Ron's food was really good. So if you're ever in Louisiana, check out Ron's. The gumbo's good. The fish is good. Everything was pretty good there. The vegetables that I got, pretty good. I really enjoyed eating at. So after we finished up at Ron's, we jumped back on the streetcar and we headed to the French market. Unfortunately, we were a bit late. We weren't really able to do like the outdoor shopping. So as you're walking down, it's called Charles Street. It's like an open air market. They were wrapping up and they were closing up, but there were some shops that were along the street. So we picked up some souvenir for family and friends there.
That art.
Want to go in there? So one thing I will say is We spent a lot of time on the streetcar during our trip to New Orleans, and what I did is I got a called a Jazzy Pass. So I got a 3-day Jazzy Pass. So we would jump on and jump off of the streetcar as we needed to. It was very helpful because the app that you download on your phone to use your Jazzy Pass, it tells you where you're at during the ride. So like you'll see a little train moving along the path, and it tells you what stops to get off of. So it was really, really cool to have that experience again on the streetcar and to have that Jazzy Pass for a couple of days. I think it was like $8. So this trip was not sponsored. It was supposed to be sponsored. It's a whole entire thing. So I messaged the tourism board, told them I was coming, pitched them my whole spiel, told them I'm coming to research my family history. If they were interested in partnering and collaboration, they said yes. And this was like some months ago, probably like 3 months ago. I followed up, and the lady was like, oh yeah, sure, we're going to help you out. We're going to give you VIP passes. We're going to give you excursion tickets. We're going to give you discounts on your hotel, blah, blah, blah. So I told her, well, I already paid for my hotel, I already paid for my flight. If you guys can give me VIP passes to stuff, help me get into museums and things like that, that would be really, really great. It would be very helpful. So I heard nothing from her. A couple days before I got there, I was like, hey, I'm coming. Nothing. I got there and I messaged her and I said, hey, I'm here. She's like, oh, I just got off of my first vacation all year long. And I'm like, okay, like I'm really sorry that this is your first vacation, but not really my problem. This is work. This is business. So she CC'd her team, was like, I'm going to have my team help you. No one helped me. Then it was like maybe the day or two before I left, I got an email saying, here's your VIP pass. And it was basically not even really, I guess that's what they call a VIP pass. It's like $10 off of this, $20 off of that. If you want to go to like the Whitney plantation, it's $10 off. But it says you have to make reservations 3 to 5 days in advance. So to me, my trip wasn't sponsored. I paid for everything on my own. I did not use any of the discounts that they gave me. So in that essence, I really don't know what to say. Like a lot of influencers talk about their trips are sponsored. I don't know what I did wrong. This was my first kind of like paid sponsored trip. I was really excited about that to say, hey, I've got a sponsored trip. They're helping me, and I started it months and months in advance to reach out to them. They approved it, had me sign an influencer thing, and yeah, no. So it was a little disappointing. So I got a VIP pass, is what they gave me, and it had like a list of all these things, like discounts at this restaurant, discounts on your Jazzy Pass, which I had already paid for on my own by then, discounts on these things and airboat rides. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I just deleted it off my phone because at that point I was irritated. And her email, I got receipts, y'all. Her email, I'll show you the email. She basically told me that because my trip isn't what they're used to, she didn't make it a priority. That was the point, is my trip was not supposed to be your stereotypical come to Louisiana adventure touristy stuff. It's to show people that they can come to Louisiana to do other than the traditional things. Like if you're researching your heritage, if you are coming during when it's not Mardi Gras time or coming to Essence Festival, that was my kind of pitch, is I'm showing people another side of New Orleans, giving people opportunity to see New Orleans in a different light, to see someone like myself that maybe they wouldn't necessarily think would come to New Orleans. So that was pretty much my pitch, is, hey, I'm coming to research my roots. But basically at the end of the day, she sent me this email saying how my trip isn't what they usually see, and so she didn't make it a priority. I thought that was very rude. My feelings were hurt. So I was like, okay, fine. Pay for everything myself. I don't need your help. But whatever. So we got off the street train, went to the French Quarter, walked around, did some shopping, and we did not let the rain stop us. It was actually fun because it was raining. I didn't take an umbrella because I was afraid it was going to be too windy, that it would like blow up. So I took my favorite transparent raincoat, threw that on. And we headed over, of course, to get some more gumbo. So now let me tell y'all about this place. My sister, she's my play sister, posted, she went to the Essence Festival, she posted like months before we went a photo of her eating at Drago's, and what she got looked really good. I didn't know if it was gumbo. I probably should have messaged her and be like, hey sister, what is this? I should have messaged her because what my husband I think what he got was shrimp and grits. I got the barbecue shrimp and some shrimp tacos. The food was good. There was like a forever wait, and I just feel like it's not all that. It's not all what I thought it was going to be. I was very disappointed. The food was very overpriced, and I actually had to send back my barbecue shrimp because it was extremely, extremely salty, and I was just like, just bring me some steak. And the guy was like, well, I don't know if our manager will take off your meal off your receipt. I was like, that's fine. You can just bring me something else. So I just ordered, I think it was like filet mignon or something, just like steak, and took it home with me because the shrimp, the flavor of it was good, but literally I tried to eat it and I couldn't because it was extremely salty. So I actually came home and tried to make that myself as well, which came out pretty good. But I think maybe in New Orleans, maybe certain dishes are a little bit heavy-handed with the salt. I don't know, but Dragos, whatever it is, we went to the one that's on the French Quarter, like on the water, because I guess there's a lot of different locations. It's a little disappointing, guys. So in terms of the food here, like, it was mid.
Alright, so I've done most of the touristy things. We spent the past couple of days at the French Quarter. Where else did we go there? Oh, Treme. So we went to Treme, then we went to the French Quarters. And then yesterday we did the French Market. It's really pretty. So I think I'm pretty much done with all the touristy things. And so for the rest of the time, I'm going to be focusing on my research. So today we are driving up. Yeah, we're driving up to Donaldsonville